Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers, geezers, and geeks alike, it's the Return of the Monkey Nut Punch podcast. The reason we're back is we've actually got some good TV, and Keith hasn't got an STD, we'll say, because he likes fucking Strange New Worlds, and I can't forgive him for that.
Look. Let me clarify. There's been some bad episodes, but there's been some very good episodes. As in, actually, even the biggest naysayers said that episode 4 was really good, which it was. It was the most Star Trek thing they've done since Old Trek. It was a proper Star Trek episode. Anson Mount was brilliant in it. There was no freaking women going, "Oh, we're amazing" in it. It was Anson Mount as Captain Pike being fucking awesome, and it worked. Really good episode of Trek. The last one just gone, I quite liked. Some people didn't, but I thought it was quite a brave episode. So, look, it's not perfect, but it's had some really good episodes. I have to, what can I say? It's had some really bad episodes, but it's had some good ones.
Hello, Nigel. I was hoping to talk to you about some gaming news.
Yeah. You can do still. You can tell me about it.
Right.
Watch Nigel react. We're now a reaction channel.
I am all ears to hear about gaming news.
Okay,
whatever
right,
that Star Trek thing is, not so much.
We'll do the other bits first. But first, hello, Bilfa. Hello, Duncan. And I haven't got the thingy. Hello, Dave. I haven't seen it yet. I'm planning on seeing it.
I have, Dave. I have. It's better than the second one of that trilogy. I'll say that.
Okay, let's save it for when I've seen it because I plan to see that in Top Gun this week. I think Top Gun
How come you not
queued up for Tuesday.
I want to geek out with you about Top Gun. I so want to geek out with you about that film.
Right. Okay. Right. Look, I promised my father-in-law I'd take him out to see it. I said I'll take you out to see Top Gun. Yeah, and we just haven't got round to sorting out a time to see it. So hopefully Tuesday this week I'll see that, and then hopefully Friday I'll go and see Jurassic World Dominion or whatever it's called. Okay,
Dave, you might quite find it quite interesting. They've even got dinosaurs in there with feathers. I'm not going to spoil it for Gareth, but there is some.
I've seen it in the trailer, you monkey.
Do you know what? Talking about Jurassic Park, I've been playing Jurassic Park Evolution 2 on my Xbox, and it is great. And they've even got Trudons, Dave. Trudons are in there.
Trudons.
Trudons.
What about
like
what's
Bigfoot.
What
about Falstons?
No, the what do you call it? The crocodile one.
Dinosuchus.
Or Dinosuchus. I can't remember. We said it wrong. That's why I remember it. That's why I remember it, but I can remember it, but as text. It's weird memory of just text and not the sound.
And the great thing about it, once you go through the first few 5 bits, you get to do scenarios. And one of the first scenarios you can do is creating the original Jurassic Park with the original. It's got the original theme tune. It's got Hammond there going, I need to create this part. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant little game. That's where my time's gone.
Okay. Yeah, I've I got a new phone and I haven't. How can I put it? Dial down some of the notifications on it. So every time you pop online to play Football Manager, I can see it. Just want to point this out. I opened up a YouTube window before we started, yeah, and one of the things on it is like should have worn sunscreen.
Sorry.
I didn't plan that. That just happened. I had to show you because you wouldn't have believed me.
It's listening.
You wouldn't have believed me. It probably is listening.
Yeah, I was out at a football tournament at soccer for our US friends for my son, and I was there from 8 a.m. through to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And it was a bit of a rush in the morning to get out the door and get there for 8. I forgot sunscreen. I did. Okay. And my complexion doesn't do well in sun.
I hear it's a tad warm with you guys at the moment.
Yeah, you know what British summer's like? Why don't we invest in air conditioning is the first question that you ask.
It's all right. It's all right. It's Wimbledon in a couple of weeks, so it's going to start raining.
Yeah.
All the kids finish school when it starts raining. That's how usually happens.
We're going to have a heat wave by Wednesday this week,
Are we?
and then hopefully it will just piss it down for the rest of the year. That'll be our 5
All
days
right.
of summer.
Let's we've all caught up because we haven't spoken to each other for a while. That's nice. But we are doing a podcast, gentlemen. So,
Oh,
without
forgot about
further
that. Yeah,
ado-
sorry, mate.
Stranger Things season 4, volume 2, or Stranger Things 4, volume 2. I watched it. Watched all of it. Really liked it.
Do you know, I have seen
Really
a
good
little
TV.
bit of this latest, just clippets.
Yeah.
And there was this one bit where this girl, she seems to be getting followed by some entity or something. I'm quite a few seasons behind, and she's in a toilet stall, and some girl asks if she's all right because she's crying and blah blah blah, and then she tells her to fuck off, so she does, and then somebody starts banging on the door, and this is where it starts taking a big old turn. Like, it really goes creep.
You need to
think
watch Nige. Nige, you need to watch it. You will
if you
enjoy
were-
it.
It
If
full
you're a
on
fan of the
Poltergeist
night,
sort of thing.
if you're no, it's not. It's more.
No, it's
Nightmare
Nightmare on
on
Elm Street
Street.
crossed over with Hellraiser.
Oh, okay.
I think
But
it's the
this
best way of
is
describing it.
no.
I did
it's
see
good.
the follow. I saw a little clip of it later where she's gone to some bloke's house to get better drugs or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's
That's
just
the
stood
first
in.
Nige, all that's in the first episode.
Is that?
Nice.
That's
They're
all in the
megally
first
long episodes. They're like hour, 20-minute long episodes. It's
Like,
megally long.
film long. like.
But I will say this: I don't know how Gareth feels, but for me, this is the best season since season 1 by a
Yes.
fucking country mile.
Yes, I would say it's the best season since season 1 too.
And I really, really, really enjoyed it, and it's a bugger of a cliffhanger. Yeah, fucking hurry up.
So,
with part
right,
2.
so my first quibble is probably the first episode is just all filler and catch up, if you know what I mean. It was just everything. They did so much stuff to this is what's happened since season 3. These are some new people here because we need to set them up for other things that happen further on. And they did all of that. And then there's something hints at something else out there. Yeah, which is this Vecna character.
There's something else in the somewhere or the elsewhere. I've forgotten what
no,
they're
it's,
called.
it's somewhere else. It's
And
not
the
upside
upside
down. It's somewhere else.
The elsewhere.
He's in the upside down, but he goes to somewhere else. We'll explain. So it starts off, and you go through the whole thing. Nothing really happens until you get to the end, where that girl turns up, which is the cheerleader. I can't remember her name. Turns up to Eddie's trailer, so he goes to give her some ketamine, to try and calm her down. And then she gets, how can I put it? She levitates up into the air, and she gets snapped into several pieces.
Limbs going all over. Oh.
By this evil creature called Vecna, who lives in the upside down but has to go through another kind of area in order to do his attacks. And that was the first episode. It was very long, and not much happened. And I watched that and I went, oh, it's going to be shit. And then after that, it was like, no, we've done all that. We've done all the setup. We're just getting on with the story. And that's what happened. They just got on with the story all the way through. So you move into the next episode and you're following Nancy around. Nancy's now investigating the murder. And she's with this, how can I say it, spotty oik with glasses who's getting, how can I put it, chased around by Vecna. And he starts hallucinating stuff, and then he gets drawn out into the middle of the road. And then all of a sudden he gets lifted up into the air, snapped into pieces, and then dropped back down after his eyes have popped. I have to say the following. I don't know how you feel about this, Keith, but Steve and Dustin are the best.
Yes,
they're the best. You could remove everyone else and just have a series with those two and supporting characters, and that would work.
Steve the Hare. I mean, Stephen. I hadn't realised until I rewatched the whole lot. I've watched all of Stranger Things this week, right? The whole lot. And rewatched season 4. Steve actually kind of redeems himself towards the end of season 1, but you probably don't remember it. But then Steve becomes like this integral character in 2 when he starts hanging out with Dustin. But yeah, Steve and Dustin are just, they're fucking awesome. I do quite like the token lesbian character.
Robin.
Robin is actually kind of cool.
Uma Thurman's daughter.
I didn't know that, but she is.
Uma Thurman,
she's kind of,
daughter. Maya
She's
Hawke,
kind of cool. I like the new stoner guy. He just makes me laugh.
Munson, yeah.
He's kind of cool. He's like, dude, drive, turn right. But there's nowhere to go, man. Turn right.
Oh no, you're talking about the long-haired fella in California.
Yeah, I like him.
He I can't remember his name now. What's this, like fucking Aubrey or something? But
he's kind of cool. Yeah, 11's story actually was very cleverly hinted at throughout the earlier seasons, because I thought they just sort of like retconned it in there, but they hadn't. They very, very cleverly seed it through the season. You don't realize it until you go back and watch again. You go, now that makes sense. And they do hint at the fact that Papa is still alive in season. In fact, she says in season 2, in that god awful fucking bottle episode, which is terrible.
That ruins season 2. That episode does.
But that one bit of information is that Brennan's still alive, and obviously he turns up in season 4 to fix 11. I hopefully 11 will kill him, because he deserves to die. He's not a nice person. But I think you're right about the first episode, because I didn't then come back and watch it again for a couple of days because I think I was put off. Then I started watching it and didn't realize how fucking long they were, because the rest of it's so damn good. But they are hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30-minute long bloody episodes. You don't. It's awesome. It keeps you glued.
It's weird because
really good.
I'm really interested in the Hawkins bit and the bit in Russia.
Yes, the whole
when they're trying to rescue Hopper from Russia, that's really interesting, because you've got Murray, who's mental. Yeah,
but I love him when he kicks the ass out of that guy and realizes that he can actually do this shit, and then he walks into the rest of the thing like, "I have this," and he just kicks the shit out of these guys. He's like a karate black belt, right? But they take the piss out of him. He's like, "Yeah, but you've only fought kids," and they rip the piss out of him.
Eldest was 16.
And they rip the piss out of him, right? But then he absolutely kicks the shit out of this guy on the plane, right? And then he walks into like this fucking Russian thing, thinking he's it, and he is it. He kicks the crap out of him, and it's really cool.
It's one of those mad bits of storytelling that you buy into because of the way it's kind of set up.
But I really wish they hadn't revealed Hopper in the trailer. Because we speculated that Hopper was the American at the end of season 3, but we didn't know. And they kind of leaked that in the trailer, and it was shit. That was a really bad piece of marketing. Should have left that as a secret. But it's all revealed.
Nigel, you're a bit out of focus, mate. Can you just...
Hello.
Anyway, it's all right. It's there. Oh, no, there you go. A bit better. So we got the Russia bit. That was great. So the first things first, when 11 disintegrates something or someone, she doesn't kill them.
No.
Because that Demogorgon is the one from the first series. That's why it looks so weird, because it's been burnt. Yeah. But for some reason, whatever she disintegrates seems to wind up in Russia. And I don't know how. And I'm assuming that gets explained, because in the trailer towards the end, slight spoiler warning, they come across what looks like the Mind Flayer trapped in a box.
Or part of the Mind Flayer.
Yeah, the bit, because there's a bit where a smoky tendril tries to get at, and she vaporizes it. And I think that winds up in Russia. And somehow the Russians...
That's a really good... Because I hadn't cottoned onto that, but you're right, because the Mind Flayer in season 3 is the bit that is taken out of Will and escapes out of Will and remains in our universe, right?
Yeah.
But you're right, because... Now that you've said that, you're right. So everything she does, and the link, obviously, the evil Ruskies in season 3. Nice Russians. Season 3 is pretty good. It's better than season
do you know what the funny thing is? Season 2, Murray hints at Russians, because they're Russians in Hawkins.
I don't know if it's going to get explained in season 4. I think we're going to get that in season 5, because season 5 is the final.
I think the thing is, I don't know if the Russians have a similar program to what the Americans have got, and that's what's caused them to open up a hole. But the funny thing is, the hole leads to Hawkins. That's the weird thing. They open it up in Russia, but we're in an American town in in Indiana. It's like, what? How? So we've got that part of it. So yeah, so she seems to be pushing those sort of things through. That's the original Demogorgon, which me and my wife agreed on in the end. So we got all those bits there. The Vecna character is weird because when the Vecna character gets pushed into the Upside Down starts forming because it looks like it was there beforehand, but didn't turn into Hawkins.
Nancy made that comment about it being like a frozen bubble from 1983, which is the first season of Stranger Things, and when 11 opened up the gate. That was a thing. They didn't explain it, but there was like, there's something there. They're going to explain it, but there's something there. Because obviously she thinks it's like a carbon copy of the universe, so she's expecting the guns to be there, and there isn't. There's a diary, and the diary entry finishes on the day the gate gets opened. Spooky. So it's like almost like the Upside Down is this frozen bubble that time is progressing there.
That's when it forms. That's when it's split off from like our universe, because you kind of see it like it's there, but it kind of like pulls apart as what's his name gets pushed through. But again, she doesn't vaporize him. Looks like she vaporizes him, doesn't vaporize him. So hello, Babs, a quick one. So we got that. Then you've got Nancy, Robin, Steve, and the kids in Hawkins investigating what's going on. And while they're investigating it, they go to the school, and Max pulls the records out of all the kids that have been, I can't put it, maimed, shall we say, before, had all their bones broken in a horrible way before that. And then she looks through all the things, and she sees that they've been having hallucinations, headaches, dreams, and stuff. And then she realizes she's been having exactly the same symptoms. It flashes back. She thinks she runs out the door and hears a clock, which is like a symbol that Vecna is going to attack in the next 24 hours. And that bit there when it's paused on that, and I went, oh my God, that's great. That's fantastic. I love that, And then you get into I think it's the fourth episode. I think it's the fourth episode where, Max, that was great. That was absolutely great. The way they built up to that.
You know that song's gone up the charts.
Yes,
and she's had to come out and make a statement about it because.
Yep, she said, "Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's happened. That was I like that song. The problem is, if you ever watched the TV series called Warehouse 13, they killed a character off called Jinx to the placebo version of that song. Which when they started playing it, I was like, she fucked. I heard that and I was like, oh, she's so fucked. And I think she's still going to die. Sorry, guys. My prediction goes. Do you know why I think she's going to die? Let me explain. I've told you before about Chekhov's gun. If you can shoot someone with a gun in Act 3, show it in Act 2 at least. Yeah. If she's going to die, then maybe she writes letters to tell everyone how she feels. She's written the letters and she hasn't taken them back.
You could be right, but there was a behind the scenes thing from part 2 released, and there was a throwaway line in there that people are picking up on that it could be Lucas that dies, because Lucas mentioned filming a scene where he is.
But they also said that Max had some control in Vecna's mind zone.
I can lose any character except Dustin and Steve. Steve.
Right, I said this to my.
I don't agree with Steve and Nancy. I have to say that I don't think Nancy should get back with Steve and Steve should get with Nancy. That doesn't work for me.
This is why Steve is safe, because there's a little love triangle going on there. Until it's resolved, not going to happen. Yeah, if Nancy kisses him, and says "I love you," Steve's dead as can span. All right.
I think he's better off getting with the mum. I think he's better off getting with Nancy's mum, personally.
Hang on a second.
There's a lady there.
Hang on a second. It's the same as doing the Vietnam. We'll have beers when this is all done. When someone says that, he's fucking dead. Oh, he's just killed himself there with that line. I think
every time I hear someone say, "I'll see you later," and I know what's on for him, I'm like, "No, you won't."
That or they're wearing a red shirt.
Thanks. Visual gag for the podcast listeners. Sorry. I'm wearing a flash top. That's why. Okay, so you've got that. Right. Just as a theory, as an aside, I think that Steve is going to die second to last episode of season 5.
You can't kill Steve.
No.
Steve has
Do you know why? I will tell you why. Steve is the hero. Yeah.
Yes, he is. Yeah,
he's the hero archetype. If you were talking about Dungeons and Dragons, he's the one who throws himself into the fray and gets the shit done. Yeah. You watch every episode since actually, when he redeems himself is when he picks up that baseball bat and goes after the Demogorgon and pushes it back into the trap. And from that point onwards, he became the hero. Yeah. And then if you want to up the stakes, you kill the hero off just before the end, so you don't think you can win. And that's when he's going to die. He won't die at any other time. He'll do it. It's like a stake thing. It's like Dallas in Alien. Yeah, that's when you kill off you kill off the captain because you think the captain's going to make it through. To up the stakes, you kill him off halfway through, and you go, "Oh, maybe it's not going to work out the way we want to." So yeah, you've got that. Yeah, the Max thing with her being attacked by Vecna, and you could see the going up. I thought she was going to cop it. I was hoping she was going to cop it. I still think she's going to get it right towards the end. It's going to be one of those tragic things. I don't think it's going to be Lucas.
You could be right. You could be right.
It's the letters.
It's only just over 2 weeks wait now to
and the reason I say, as I say that because of the letters. As soon as they get those letters, if you get the next episode, she takes all the letters back from everyone and tears them up, then she'll live. But as long as those letters are there, that's a cue up to turn around and say, I'm planning on exiting. Whether I'm planning on it, someone's planning on exiting, because they can do the sad thing that they did with Hopper at the end of season 3, where she's reading the letter, but they can do it for Max and all the other people.
Yeah, no, it's a good point.
Good point. I think it's a setup. I'm sorry if you like her, but Lucas might cop it in at the same time.
I don't know, because Matt. The only thing I will say is that Max at the end of season 3, even though her brother had died, was kind of all right. You know, they were taking the piss out of Dustin, if you remember, for the never-ending story thing. And then, like at the beginning of season 4, she's all down in the mopes and dope. I found. I don't know. That was the only bit that I think I'd really sort of criticised, was making her.
Yeah, but there was a fault on that though.
Yeah, but she was made down in the dumps to fit the plot. And
no, she would have been down. No, hang on a second. I think it's not a down in the dumps thing. Remember, her and her mum have moved to a shitty trailer park from the nice house that they were living in.
True.
Her brother's dead, and her stepfather has left.
Well, good, because
add them all up. Yeah, but add them all up, and what have you got? You couldn't really. The one I want them to kill, the one I really want them to kill is Mike. I fucking hate Mike. I went back and watched season 1, and I hate Mike in season 1.
I didn't like Lucas in season 1. I found Lucas to be the shit.
I like Lucas because Lucas was like the skeptical one. No, you're talking bullshit. It's like, no, he always questioned everything, which was fine because he was supposed to act as that kind of make sure you're being reasonable sort of thing. Yeah,
I found Lucas more annoying in season 1, I have to admit. But yeah, Mike in season 2 onwards was kind of annoying. Yeah.
Mike needed to die.
Yeah, well, Mike was kind of
with Stranger Things. Mike needs to die.
And can Will just come out, please, as well? Because see, I found Will irritating in season 3.
No, I feel so. Hang on, I feel so sorry for that actor because his plotline for this season is I'm gay. That's all he's got. I'm gay, and you can see it. He looks a little frustrated. Yeah, he's also got a picture. That
at least he hasn't got the shitty hair this time round, though. At least he's got a hairstyle that isn't so bad.
The other thing too. Did you find that Nancy looked like she was 40 years old in the first episode?
She did. They made her look a lot older in this. Yeah.
That she must have pissed off the lighting director and the director of photography to make her look that bad. She must have said something to him and went, "Oh, you forget." Who's setting your shots up, love? Then bosh. Okay. All right. So Strange Things. Can't wait to volume 2. Done really well. Probably, it's the best since the first series. My brother asked me if the Max running away was as good as the one where they find Will's body in the quarry. And I have to say that he said, which one's the better scene? And I turned around and said it was the Will in the Quarry one, because one, I didn't know what was going to happen. So there's a good chance he was going to die. The fact that he got caught, the chance that he was talking to his mother, gets caught by the Demogorgon, gets killed and dropped into the quarry. There was that chance, yeah. But this, it wasn't so clear cut. If they would have killed her, I would have turned around and said it was in this one. And they almost made it look like they did. You got those bits falling from the sky. She's running, and all of a sudden just goes black, and you're like, oh. And that's when they should have gone next episode. They should just cut straight to the next episode. I don't know why, but hey. Anywho, let's talk about The Boys.
That's been good.
That's been
much better.
I hated this.
Much better season 2.
I hated season 2. Season 2 was shit. Homelander was the only bit in season 2 that held it together, and my brothers will agree with me on that. The guy, the Australian fella, who is like all actors who gets drunk and gets caught in fights and stuff. It's normal for Irish and Australian actors. It just comes par for the fucking course to see Oliver Reed and oh god, who's the one who played Maximus in Gladiator? Russell Crowe.
Yeah,
Russell Crowe. It's typical. There's a history of it. Mel Gibson too, even though he's from New York, but he's brought up in Australia. Anyway, by the way, really good. The fact that we've got it starts off and it's great because the first episode, it looks like Huey's working for the FBI or the version for human investigations. Everything looks like it's going his way. Butcher is doing what he should be doing in taking out Supes, even though he's having to take them out the way the FBI want him, which is good because that was the thing that bugged me. They didn't take out a single superhero in season 2.
I think, episode 1 was like that shock episode. Though, I mean, that's what are we going to?
Oh, that's it.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
Can you imagine being the set builder for this? Right? Can you imagine this? Right? You get the orders through. What have I got to build? A 40-foot Jap's eye. Can you imagine? Right?
Yeah.
You want?
Do you know what? I know where that came from. Hang on a second, Keith. I know where that came from. That came from the Ant-Man up Thanos' arsehole. And they were like, we could do something similar, but we'll do it through a dude's penis. It's the fact that he just whipped it out on the table quite casually. I'm not like, you're gone.
Do you think, though, because that just reminded me of flying up, do you think they missed a beat by not calling Bob the hamster Lemmywinks? The hamster in season... That is a character, by the way. That is a genuine superhero from The Boys. The hamster... Which I just fucking loved. I love that scene. I'm still laughing about it now. But the guy's just standing there, this fucking fluffy hamster just flies up. Oh, it's so cute.
We kind of zipped straight towards the end.
Sorry.
There,
anyway, giant penis, basically.
We were talking about the first scene where they've got the Supes and that are having like a big kind of Hollywood-esque party, and Ant-Man, he's not Ant-Man, but we can say Ant-Man, climbs up the inside, the urethra of some guy, and because he sneezes halfway up climbing up the thingy, he reverts to his normal size, busting the guy into 2 pieces, and blood and viscera go everywhere. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting something similar to have you seen The Boys Diabolic?
Yes.
I know. Yeah, the one where they have the guy who flies around the world and punches things, and they give him the drug enema that causes him to then smash into a wall at half the speed of sound. Classic.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting. At first, I didn't even know what I was looking at. It's like his Jap's eye or is that his ass? And then I realised what it was, and I was just like, dude, the set builder on that, especially when you realise that was a practical set and not CGI.
Well, the set builder sat there going, I've got a model we can work with. This is my time to shine.
Do you know what he said, right? He said, go on, challenge me. And he went, oh, really? Okay. Inside the urethra. Sorry? Yeah, that's.
But again, it was like that scene, and then all the boys coming in except Butcher, and having trying to catch this guy, and this guy's just fucking running rings around him, and then Butcher comes in with a bag of coke and just catches him and rubs him in the fucking bag of coke and puts him down the thing. I went, okay, this looks like the boys is back. This looks like the quality's come back. And so far, it has been brilliant. I've really enjoyed season 3.
There's a few things that piss me off. One is the Black Noir character. Black Noir is like fucking pivotal to the story of the boys.
Yeah, but the Black Noir you saw killed there, so that there is another.
No, he wasn't. No,
he was killed, wasn't he?
No,
had all his
he wasn't. Because when he was in the house with Butcher, you saw his fucked up face from that accident. See, no one ever pays attention to the details. Yeah,
right.
But
so it's not the
problem
is
comic, then. It's not the same as the comic. Comics got the. I'm hoping that when they used whatever it was, because he's got nut allergy, the nut allergy caused him to die, and they replaced him with the clone.
I suspect that's what it is. I think we're building to this at the end of season 4. I think that this is the season where it's going to happen, because that it's not the end of the boys when it does happen. So this is just the end of the first act. Yeah, I liked Simon Pegg's cameo, by the way. It was nice to see Simon Pegg back again.
Yes. That was good. But, you had Jensen Ackles as their version of Captain America Soldier Boy.
I didn't know Simon Pegg was in this.
So in the comic,
Simon Pegg is Huey in the comic.
Yeah. So Huey is drawn like Simon Pegg in the comics.
And Kamiko is the girl from The Ring. And What's His Mush is a mixture of Judge Dredd, Captain America, and Superman all rolled into one.
So who does Simon Pegg play in the
series?
He's
Huey.
Huey's dad.
Who's they give dad. Compound V to in this, yeah.
In the boys, he's the dad, but in
TV
the comic,
series, yeah.
The likeness of Huey is Simon Pegg.
But if you watch The Boys Diabolical, I think it's episode 3 or 4. They do like a comic book accurate cartoon version of it, and you get the Simon Pegg lookalike, and I think they have Simon Pegg voice him too, which is good.
That a cartoon? Is it?
Yeah, just they got like one-off little vignette sort of things. So you got like 20 minutes of Butcher being Butcher, and that's how he should be. That's the archetype there, because the TV series should really pivot around Butcher and Homelander. And it's starting to pivot around them, which is the way that the story should always have gone. But it's the idea that they're trying to find a weapon to take care of Homelander. And then you got Starlight, who's trying to put people together to try and take care of Homelander. And the end of the last episode, it was episode 3, where they find Soldier Boy. And while that's happening, Homelander kind of says, "Hey, let's take you for a flight." So he takes that top of the building and goes, "This is a spectacular view." And they've got a new... They got a new superhero. I can't remember what his name is.
Supersonic.
Boy band before. Supersonic. Yeah. And where she asked him to join, and he asked A-Train to help out, and Maeve has kind of agreed that I'll take him down. He has just fucking obliterated him. His face, taking his face off, half of his body. It's an absolute mess.
But at the same time, new kid.
Yes.
Yeah,
but he's an ex. Trouble is, he's actually quite a nice bloke, and so it's kind of shocking. But episode 4 was my favourite so far, actually. But that mainly because there are so many laugh out loud moments.
Because they go to Russia. They go to Russia to find the weapon to take care of Homelander, and they find that Soldier Boy's been Winter Soldierized, where he's been kept in a chamber away from everyone. To try and I don't know what they're doing with him, and then that's where you come across the hamster, and that's when they find out that Billy has been taking temporary Compound V, which allows him to have superpowers temporarily, and Huey also took it.
Yeah,
but Huey when he used powers, he teleported and forgot to bring his clothes with him. So he teleported out of it and then punched the Russian soldier through the chest, and he's like completely fucking starkers. And it's weird because the whole thing is the compound V thing is it's an allegory for taking drugs and cocaine and steroids, and all those sort of things. And the superheroes aren't really superheroes; they're celebrities and politicians. And it's just the way that you deal with it. I do like the way that the I can't remember his name. The senator in there is named after a character from Supernatural. So there's Senator Robert Singer, who was Bobby in Supernatural, played by the same actor too. And I like the actor. He's a nice, pleasant fella to watch on TV. Really good, really violent, really crude. Homelander is terrifying, but saying that, I think Butch is going to take him down. It's going to be good. Find out.
I want it to be Bob though. Bob's the new superstar for me. I'm sorry.
Well, they've got Nina in there.
The last 10 minutes of episode 4, though, is when they break in and it's the hamster. I'm sorry. They go up to this cage and it's this little hamster. It's a real hamster. You're like, oh, it's so cute. And then it just goes like that. But it's the bit when it's let out and it just fucking flies. And it's just like this flying hamster. And it fucking goes through people. It literally goes right through his head. Like, damn it, they should have called it Lemmy Winks.
Like a cannonball.
So what they in the Boys, is there such a character? You know, a little bit like Ant-Man can go really, really tiny and then really, really big.
Yeah, yes. No, that was in the very first episode. There's one, the guy who shrunk and climbed up the other guy's penis, the urethra.
Could he not do the same to Homelander? Would he not be able to expand because Homelander's indestructible?
Homelander's indestructible.
What would happen to Homelander if he went big inside?
He couldn't. He would. The guy would get crushed.
Homelander would have a violent expel blood out of his arsehole. That's
just asking.
I love the fact that we're speculating what happens if Ant-Man goes up Homelander's arse and expands.
Okay.
No, it's shaping up to be. I think we've got 4 episodes left. Is it 8 or 10 episodes? I'm not sure.
I think it might be 10. No, it's probably 8. Either way, it's
The Boys is back up there with quality so far. I agree with you. Really enjoy it.
Boys is back in town.
There. I'm a bit worried that apparently there's a musical episode.
Yeah, but this is The Boys, so it's probably going to be funny. So it's probably going to be funny. I can see it, but we'll see what happens.
If there's a musical episode, I'm simply not watching it.
Yeah, I know. That's how I feel about musical episodes. I have to say, this year for TV, it's been really good. We've had Peacemaker.
Everything non-Disney. Everything non-Disney. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Everything non-Disney. You had Peacemaker. What's it? Better Call Saul. We've got The Boys, the Orville, which we'll talk about in a moment, and Stranger Things, and they've all been really good and not disappointed me, which I'm quite happy at. So let's talk about the Orville, which Nigel is. I don't know. Have you got Disney Plus, Nigel?
I do.
It's on Disney Plus. You should watch it. It's really good. The episodes are like an hour and 10 minutes long, though, which I find a bit because it was before it was on TV, but now it's on streaming. They're extended.
The first one was an extended one. The second one was an hour.
Hour and 10.
Okay.
There's been 2 episodes.
That's what it says on Disney. So it says. I'm sure maybe it's an hour and 4, but all right, we'll split the difference. But the first one, it was redressing the wounds. They were showing off the fact that they got some money for the special effects because they had a fucking ton of special effects that didn't need to be in that episode. They really didn't need to be in that episode. They were just showing that they had fixed everything and they're all ready to head out and do the new bits. And then it was weird because it focused on Isaac.
It wasn't a parody episode at all, was it? There was it wasn't. There was a couple of jokes in there, but it was a genuine exploration.
Anyway.
Episode.
Oh wow. Yeah, they're all available. 12 episodes.
No, that's season 2 so
3.
far.
Oh, that was it's defaulted. Sorry. It defaulted season 1.
So yeah, the first episode it focused on Isaac, and it was weird because it was a very kind of human episode focused around a robot about suicide, and it's when he was talking to the doctor, because the long and short of it is because the Kalons invaded and all that, they looked at Kim as bad, and then when he decided, actually, you know what, I'm gonna end it. The crew will work better without me. And it's weird because it's, if you talk to suicidal people, they think the world will be better off without them, and it's reached exactly the same conclusion, but in a like kind of slightly different way. That was really kind of cutting. I felt it was. It made me go, oh my god, yeah, it's quite sad. And the fact that the engineer brought him back, okay, a bit of a cheap thing, but it was so they could then, so the doctor and everyone could have a fucking go at him for being so stupid. Yeah, and it worked, and I like that. And then the second episode, fucking loved. I love me a creature feature. It reminded me of the episode in the Next Generation where they come across something that causes everyone to devolve. And the problem is it causes Worf to devolve into some fucking scary ass apex predator thing, which is like stalking the bloody halls of the Enterprise. Can't remember what that one was called. But
I remember the episode, don't remember the name. But yeah, but the second episode had a few more jokes in it. So I enjoyed the second episode from that.
But the second episode was scary.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
With the kids, and it was great because they did the proper thing. Yeah, the kids were like kind of, oh, we're going to find mum. But mum told us to stay here, and then she goes there. They're not there, and then she meets mum because I told you to stay in the quarters, and that's like kind of it balanced and worked out and everything. And I hate to say that having the ability for an admiral to shut a ship down is stupid. Captain and the medical officers should be the only people who have that authority, and that's only when the medical officer deems that the captain is not fit enough to run the ship. That was stupid, but I still love that because the old what's the bad guy, the Krill or whatever it was, they were like kind of, oh, we won't come and save you. That's where fucking demons and bits are. And it goes, and then the guy had a nice bit of body horror in there when the admiral was mutated into fly thing.
But it was clever how they showed how, because obviously the Krill are ultra religious, and they showed how real world events could be interpreted into a religious text. Because they say that this is how the Krill have interpreted it, and actually, when you look at it, it is a good analogy of stuff. There was a lot more deep stuff going. The thing is, this is not a parody anymore. This is replaced Trek for what Trek should be doing. Now, Strange New Worlds is kind of beginning to do what, but the Orville has just come out with 2 fucking episodes that have just gone bang bang, and that's Star Trek. I mean, he is not making a parody anymore. He's making fucking Star Trek. And it's brilliant. Yeah, it's
brilliant. It is brilliant. It's real
thought-provoking. It's entertaining as well.
Do you know what? I've never been into Star Trek at all, ever. But I do like the Orville.
This is what Trek was when Trek was good. Now, I mean, the last episode of Strange New Worlds was quite good because they actually did what Trek has never really done. That left that was quite a thought-provoking episode. Now, the Fandom Menace have somewhat criticised it, but actually, I'm going to hang on a second. This was actually quite a well-written episode. Well, okay, so the premise is that the Enterprise turns up and rescues a kind of princess bird that's got the hots for Pike, and Pike's known before, so they start flirting and they rescue this kid, and this kid is revered among these people as this sort of like religious, or you're led to believe, a religious icon, and the kid's really, really intelligent. Anyway, there's another sect trying to kill the kid, or at least it first appears that they're trying to kill the kid. Then it looks like they're trying to rescue him, and like, well, rescue him from what? And at the end of the episode, it turns out that the planet.
Oh no, he's dirt-faced. Is he dirt-faced for you?
Yeah,
that's a classic. Hang on a second.
That's a great picture. I'm sorry, you guys who are listening on the podcast, you can't see this. It's such a shame.
Got it as a screenshot. That's going on fucking Instagram.
It does look like he is about to very slowly eat the mic and do something naughty with it.
So this is what happens when you live in a country where the infrastructure, it says it's good, but it's not as good, and we've lost him. So, Strange New Worlds. Internet disagrees. They don't think Keith. Keith, I don't think Strange New Worlds is any good, so they cut you off.
The fourth episode is quite good as well. You should see the fourth episode. It's genuinely really good.
Okay.
It's like this submarine episode, and it's genuinely
This is
good.
the thing, right? One of the reasons I've not watched Kenobi and I've not watched Miss Marvel is I have good TV. I have good TV at the moment. I just enough TV.
The only thing I can say about Miss Marvel is soundtrack's pretty good. That's about it.
I don't know. I've not watched it.
Kenobi, oh, for fuck's sake.
All I can say about Miss Marvel is I think, obviously, this Miss Marvel program that they've made is aimed at a completely different demographic than the normal Marvel followers. This is aimed at teenage girls for them to have some Marvel thing to watch.
I don't even think it's teenage girls. I think it's pre-teens.
It's
the way that people have described it. It's right. So, if something is bad, this is weird. If something is bad, I'll watch it to see if it's as bad as everyone makes it out to. But when someone describes something as boring, I'm like, nah, I'll give it a miss because I don't do boring.
The thing with Kenobi is it's written by somebody that clearly doesn't know Star Wars and is now having to come out and defend that he has a broken canon. You have at least 3 times. But the thing is, episode 4, Gareth, I can't. It's cheap. It looks cheap. It is cheap. And I'm sorry, you are dealing with legacy characters here. You are dealing with Obi-Wan, arguably the most popular character in Star Wars, arguably, and Vader, right? You are dealing with
Vader is the one.
You are dealing with Star Wars fucking royalty here, right? This thing should have a production budget larger than a goddamn movie, and it doesn't. It looks like fucking Vader fights Obi-Wan. It's not even a fucking fight. Vader looks like worse than he did in fucking the original Star Wars. And Obi-Wan is just like, please don't hurt me. And then there's this episode 4 where they're on this fucking fortress thing, and there is one dark moment in there. There are moments in that episode that are kind of cool, but it's a shit episode. But there is a moment where they're running out, and no word of a lie, he's got baby Leia hidden under his jacket, and he's walking along.
I've seen a clip
it's
of that.
So terrible.
Online.
But there's a bit where the stupid Reaver bird is behind him, right? And these 2 air speeders come in. Seriously, the effects in the original New Hope prior to all the digital rework look better than this. It looked like 2 Airfix models and somebody had got them on sticks and put the camera. I could have done a better job, right? It looked like somebody had got the camera, focused on the thing and got 2 little air sticks like that and moved them in. That's how bad it looked. It was dreadful.
I'm trying to remember. I don't know if I've seen that episode.
You've seen episode 3 where the fight is between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, right? Seriously, do you think a bunch of fucking fire would stop Darth Vader? Darth fucking Vader. Force, move the fire out of the way. Come on, then.
I'm not even getting to that point yet, although I thought that was shit. The bit where the not Inquisitor, but Inquisitor woman who has like the sole goal of finding, just randomly sees a droid walking around and goes, "Oh yeah, that's exactly the room I need to go in. Oh, there's exactly the thing I need to pull. Oh, look, there's a, and then there's looking around the room going,
how did she get to the end of a one-way tunnel without passing Leia? Oh,
no, no, that wasn't my thing. She not only knew exactly where that tunnel led without ever seeing it before, she got there first.
Without passing Leia. Yeah.
How do you go from here and being, 10 minutes behind? With a running child all the way to the end, how did she go click, click, and appear at the end of the tunnel? How would you know?
I don't know, but I've heard this guy just turn around and said that the cinematography and the storytelling with just the cameras is bad because you don't know the position or where anything is in the world. It doesn't seem to make any sense.
The camera work is bad. The writing
Well,
is bad.
Unfortunately, when I saw that bit, even my two sons went, "How did she get to the end of that tunnel?" And the other one, and the younger one went, "How does she know where the end of a tunnel is?" I went, I don't, I can't answer that." And the fact that Obi-Wan is a little chicken shit.
Yeah. The laser gate. The laser gate. When he walks, there's a laser gate, right? You can walk around this gate, and Obi-Wan goes to try and turn it off. Walk around it.
Yeah. And not only
It's
that,
dumb.
he had a perfectly good vehicle which he could have jumped back in, which he arrived in, and then runs in the desert.
And then there's a bit where he
"Why are
takes
you
on
jumping
5
in a-"
stormtroopers and then
Oh, yeah.
surrenders to 3.
Yeah, yeah.
It just
I
doesn't.
mean,
It's just bull.
Vader, and it's right. You get this scene where because Reva's fucked up and let them go, Vader comes storming in and fucking force lifts her. You go, okay, now we've got some badass Vader, and she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can make it all better." And he goes, "Oh, okay then." What? Vader would have snapped her fucking neck.
Right. I just look. The long and short of it is they've destroyed Luke Skywalker. They're in the process of destroying everyone Kenobi. They'll finish off by destroying Vader. Okay. They don't want us to have these heroes. It's not about money, or it's about them making a statement saying we're just going to destroy your heroes and replace them with what we think you should have as heroes. Yeah, it's like going to a restaurant, ordering a burger, and then getting a fucking fish finger sandwich. Yeah, well, this is what you really want.
No, it's worse than that. It's getting a veggie burger.
Anyway, I didn't want to talk about shit stuff. I wanted to focus on the nicer stuff. Yeah, so I don't want to talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi. Because it's crap. All right. And we'll leave it.
There is one moment in it. There is one thing that is worth talking about because there is one. Yeah, I will talk about this. There is one moment where it pays revenge to rebels, which, and Nigel might not understand this. And this is kind
hang on a second. They killed the Inquisitor off, who was in Rebels. Yeah.
I'm not talking about that. And no, they haven't. That's the one thing
I'll say. They have killed him off.
No, not yet. They haven't.
The guy said they killed him off. Anyway, doesn't matter. I don't want to talk about that. Let's do this instead, because this is better.
True. No sound. There's the Inquisitor. And this is set after.
All the Inquisitors have white faces, do they?
No, that is the Inquisitor. They fucked it up in Obi-Wan.
Because I was going to ask, because 2 of the Inquisitors they had in Obi, they had, a white face, but then the woman with a Beano bonnet.
Hang on, wait, because you won't hear over the thing. Let's just.
Well, we can't hear any sound anyway. It's fine.
The Inquisitor.
You can't hear any sound.
No.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter. We won't get a copyright strike now anyway. At the end of the Fallen Order, nice. The Padawan of the girl that's hanging around with you in Fallen Order, right? Because I know the ending of this, right? That is an Inquisitor. That's second sister. And she kind of gets turned at the end, then Vader kills her because Vader senses her coming back to the light, which is really cool when Vader turns up, by the way. Spoilers for the end of Fallen Order, but
been out years.
That is the Grand Inquisitor. That is the one that is killed in Obi-Wan, but he doesn't look like it's just some guy. They haven't bothered. He's an alien race, and you see them in the third Star Wars film. You see what they really look like, and that's what they really look like: white-faced, thin, tall. And that's what they look like in Rebels as well, which, by the way, is still fucking awesome Star Wars. But that's the second game. And I need to get a fucking PS5 now because
Yeah,
God
but it's
damn it.
building on the first game. The first game
Yeah.
was very,
Really,
very good.
I'm playing through it now. I've seen the cinematics of it. It is the most Star Wars thing since Rebels, in my opinion. It's proper fucking. They've even nailed the music. They've got that Star Wars-esque John Williams fucking soundtrack. The guy that's done the music for this has obviously studied John Williams and emulated it here. So you get those sort of strings and everything that you get in Star Wars, and the way they cut in the cutscenes and the very Star Wars-esque swipes and stuff. It's all there. It feels like Star Wars far more than anything, with the exception of Rogue One, that Disney have done. And I love this. And how have I only just discovered it? But it's great because it is completely the best antidote to Obi-Wan there is. If you are hating on a thing and you've never played Fallen Order, go and play it now because it's really good.
It is really good. The controls are really good. The moves that you get, even the bot that you get around with you.
It's not even the gameplay. It's the story. It's really fucking good.
I think the whole package of it is, very decent. It's got a bit of replayability as well. I think you go back and forth between different places.
And the fact that they're all like real life actors, because the dude that plays the fallen Jedi, the guy that that gives you the mission effectively, that's the dude that played the old Jaffa in Stargate. You remember the bearded guy with the baldy thing? What was his name? Yeah, he's in this, and he's voiced by him as well. So that's kind of cool. I just recognize people in it. I recognize people and voices and stuff. I love it.
All right, so I'm going to show this one here. You guys can't hear the audio, but audio is playing for people.
Oh, it's playing now.
We can.
What is playing now?
Eyes in the rig.
All right, that's our target. Shadows 1 and 2. Push to your hook points. Let's invite ourselves in.
All stations ship is visual.
Fuck, I picked the wrong trailer. Sorry. Right, anyway.
On this platform.
The long short bit is this is... Modern Warfare 2, I love Modern Warfare 2. That was great. The multiplayer was good. The overall was good. I'm not going to... Actually, I'll let that run in the background, but I'll take the sound off. It was good.
this.
The problem with this...
Modern Warfare 2. Just
I think I did this
remake.
Yeah,
The problem is, it's the oil rig one in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
Now, I watched this, and then I watched the original gameplay of the oil rig one when you're playing the SAS. It's weird because they're not allowed to be the SAS now because they're British, and they're all white English dudes, which is not allowed apparently. And they now have been replaced by Rainbow Six, if you know what I mean when I say Rainbow Six. So you've got like all these other characters in here who've kind of been, I don't fucking know. The long and the short of it is if you watch this gameplay and you watch the Modern Warfare 2 original gameplay, the Modern Warfare 2 is much more exciting. The soundtrack, everything, much more exciting. There's a bit where you burst into a room in slow motion and you go through that. I don't know what they've done. It looks generic. Do you know what I mean?
I know what. This is the problem. Every time I play a remake, it isn't quite as good. Like
I'm not saying Resident Evil. Have you played the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes? They're fucking awesome. But this one looks like it's Battlefield 2042.
Yeah, it does. But then I think these. I have played Modern Warfare 2. Funny enough, I owned it, and I know this one, and it doesn't look as good. I'll give you that. It does look more Battlefield-like.
It doesn't look as interesting. Not as good. I would say interesting because it's just there's something about it. It's just I want to know if it was me going fucking crazy because sometimes I watch these things and it's like kind of I don't know if I'm being because I'm a bit.
In fact, I think the original,
when it comes to certain things.
I think that was probably the last Call of Duty game that I actually bought. So look, you know me, I get bored of these, one after the other kind of thing.
Yeah. So this is Resident Evil 4, yeah, and they don't. This is a tease, so there's not a huge amount in it. So March, end of March next year. So you go through it, and it's like so. If you play Resident Evil 4, it's set in Spain. I think set in northern Spain, where you get attacked by a load of parasite infected people. Not you, Alexa. Parasite infected people, and they know how to do remakes. It's like this one here. It's playing on intrigue, yeah. And I don't know why the Modern Warfare people didn't either cut a better trailer or do something to make it more exciting. Because that's the one thing with Modern Warfare 2 was the Hans Zimmer score. Because he had a proper Hans Zimmer score. So it's like when you were playing as the US Marines and you were winning, it plays this bit of music, yeah? Fucking hypes you up to win the game. And it was really good. And it didn't have any of that music in there. But yeah, we've got this here, and this is Resident Evil 4, and it looks like it's going to be another good remake. Capcom are the only people I trust to do remakes. I'll be honest with you. They've got it nailed down when it comes to doing remakes. Sorry, I just
So what game? What console version?
PS5 and Xbox X and S.
So when number 4 came out previously, like originally, what console was that on?
GameCube.
Cube. Just the Cube, or of that sort of generation?
There was a Cube, and then eventually it moved to the Xbox and the PlayStation 2.
PS3. Was it 3?
No, it's PlayStation 2 for 4.
Oh, okay. There was a bit.
Sure
there was a bit of mildly disappointing gaming news this week. You saw that Homeworld 3 has been delayed to the first quarter of next year.
I'd rather have it working.
That's exactly my thoughts. But
yeah, too many companies nowadays, they will go, right, no, we must stick to the date we set, and then they release a substandard product.
I understand that things happen, and COVID hasn't helped. Because I'll be honest with you, the last Call of Duty Vanguard looked like shit, and I can blame that on the pandemic because no one was working on it properly. And Battlefield 2042 didn't work at all. Looked like it should do, didn't work. It would have been a great game if it worked, but no, it didn't work. And this is the one game. It's called the Callisto Protocol, yeah, and it's from the original people who bought Dead Space.
Okay,
and it looks fantastic. It's set.
I can see the similarity because he's got
the fucking light bar at the back of his neck, yeah. But it looks,
similar,
it looks fantastic.
Yeah,
it's one of Callisto's moons. Something has happened. I don't know if it's some mutagenic parasite or out of control nanite. No idea what's causing this, but it looks absolutely fantastic. It's gory as hell, but gory not as in it is gory in a cheap way. Sorry, I was going to say not in a cheap way. No, it was gory in a cheap way. But it's very. I've seen.
You said Dead Space, right? Yeah.
Dead Space, yeah.
You got me to play Dead Space.
Dead
This immediately reminds me of Dead Space. That fucking opening. In fact, this reminds me of the scene that you showed me to convince me to play it, which was in that kind of sort of similar setting to this.
But it looks fantastic. It looks like it's going to be interesting. There's one game I'm hyped for this year. So you've got it looks like he's got kind of like a magnetic grapple sort of thing.
Yeah, and he can pick things up and lob them
and throw them the same way that Morgan Freeman could with his gravity gun. But that I'm looking forward to that, and I'm going to be keeping an eye on that as over the
definitely looks up your street.
Oh yeah, I've been.
You see, the Jedi one's more at mine, and that seems more up yours.
I'm with you, Nige. Fallen Order. I think.
Yeah, and I'm also eagerly waiting for the remake for KOTOR. So remaking KOTOR.
They are.
I'm worried about the KOTOR remake, considering how things have gone. If it's the people who made Jedi Fallen Order, then you're fine. If it's not, then you'd be fucked.
I mean,
Disney all of a sudden said, "Oh, we need to have this, that, and the other." It's like they've just the long the short of it is when it comes to Star Wars, Disney have done so much damage to Star Wars. I don't care for the first 3 films anymore. I actually don't think they're very good now because of what's happened. They've
I-
actually got it to the point where I can't go back and enjoy those films.
I absolutely understand where you're coming from, but I kind of I went and watched like the YouTube video came up and went full movie Fallen Order, right? And I watched like half of it, and there obviously it cuts the bits where the gameplay is, so you miss out bits. But I was going, I don't usually watch these kind of things where you just watch the cutscenes from a game, but I sat there fucking glued and going, this feels like when I was watching Star Wars as a kid. This feels like me watching Star Wars as a kid,
and the
it's,
game-
it's good.
The progression of that game is good as well. As you go further into the game, you do unlock more and more things, which does give you more and more toys to play with, which does give you that bit of, "Oh, I'm feeling a bit epic now." You know, it has that nice little progression in that game. But yeah,
Is it like with
I am.
Spider-Man, where
Yeah.
sorry, Keith will understand when we say Spider-Man, it's like when I showed Keith Spider-Man, where I played it on the highest difficulty with all the gadgets, and I could take down a squad of people like a fucking superhero.
I all I will tell you is I'm only on the first sort of proper mission where you're in the trying to get into the vault to get the sort of hidden message, because I went and bought the game. It was like 600. It was like 12 quid on PS4 store. So I went, fuck that, I'm having it, because I've sat through half of it, gone, I fucking love this, and I've started playing it, and all I will tell you is, it's like, for me, it's like playing a Spider-Man game. That Spider-Man game, when I started playing that Spider-Man game, it was everything I thought it was going to be, and it didn't disappoint. This doesn't disappoint. This.
It also has elements of, you know, the way Drake's Fortunes plays with the jumping from thing to thing to find different secret areas and climbing and all that sort of stuff. It has that sort of element to it as well. I liked it from the start to finish, to be honest. There wasn't any bit of it that I thought, oh, this is dragging, you know.
It's only the second game I have ever played personally. I haven't played that many games where I don't want to skip the cutscenes, because the cutscenes are awesome. And the only
really
other
good.
one that I've played that is like that is Spider-Man, because again, Spider-Man is just fucking...
Have you played the Uncharted games, Keith?
No, only with you.
If
you
you
need to play
like
the Uncharted games,
if you like this, hang on a minute.
you'll love the Uncharted games.
I know
in
I
the
will.
PS Plus collection, I'm sure you get.
Oh
the
no, hang on. He's only got a PS4. No, he hasn't got access to it.
They're still not available here. I will get a PlayStation 5, but I honestly haven't, until now. I haven't had a game. Right. I knew when Spider-Man 2 came out, I was going to get a PS5. Right. When Spider-Man 2, the proper Spider-Man 2 game comes, I'm having a PS5 for that, because there's no fucking way I'm not. But if Fallen Order 2 comes out beforehand, fuck it, I'm buying a PS5 for that, because it... Look, I am, and always have been, a lifelong Star Wars fan. I fucking grew up. One of my first bloody memories is Star Wars, right? And therefore I am a Star Wars fan. I completely understand what Gareth is saying, and I get it. I do. And I cannot disagree with you. And I was like that watching Obi-Wan. Then I played this, and it was just like, it's like an old friend. It's like seeing an old friend for the first time in a long time. And just playing that game and watching those cutscenes, even though they're all new characters, it's glorious. You can tell it is made by people that love Star Wars, not Disney Star Wars, fucking Star Wars.
Right, hang on a second. I will. This is where we'll leave it, because this will blow your mind. Okay, one of the worst companies ever voted, is responsible for making that game. That's EA.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And on that bombshell, that's where I'm going to end it. Thank you very much for listening. Thanks for joining us here on our podcasting journeys. If you've got us this far, give us a like or a thumbs up, or whatever it is on YouTube or Twitch or wherever it is. And we will make this podcast available for you to download. I'm going to try and work on doing some videos and bits, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to talk to the others. So it's bye from me.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.